Thanks so much for tuning in to Dub World. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please comment on the videos. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. We're going back to focus on the 69 Beetle and specifically the ignition cylinder replacement. Now, I shot a longer video that showed the whole process of me taking everything apart and repairing the ignition cylinder key portion on the 69 Beetle. But because of the camera position, I figured I'd do a close-up with a steering column out of the car to show you how everything works. So if you're ready to check it out, sit back and let's go. Alright, so I was editing the video and I thought to myself, you really don't have a very good view of what I was doing in the car. And I remembered that I had this spare steering column in the garage. Now this is a type 3 steering column, but I believe pretty much it's almost identical as far as the procedure goes as a Beetle. So for demonstration purposes, not going to make a difference. Now, what I was showing you in the video is this metal plate that you have to take off with the 2 flathead screws right here, which I showed you in the video. Pop that out, gives you access to the ignition. Now, if you can see inside here, you may not be able to, but the locking pin is there. Now, the reason why you need to turn the key and unlock the steering column is because you're gonna have to pull this ignition assembly out in order to be able to get this key portion out. So it won't allow you to pull this out far enough to get it out without that being unlocked. So once we unlock it, and like I said, you don't have to turn it into the on position, it just needs to be unlocked, whatever that may be. Now, obviously this isn't attached to a car, so we don't have to worry about any electrical, and that's why I mentioned disconnecting your battery. So these are the leads to the ignition switch. What's going to happen here is when I pull this wiring is going to move up with the switch. Now, since it's not connected to anything, there's not a lot of resistance except when this tape hits this groove here. So I'll just be able to pull this with the key. Let me get this hopefully a better position for you to see. And I'm going to pull this far enough out so that it opens up this hole right here. So that is the access hole to push on the spring to release this key portion of the ignition switch. So when you press with your tool in there, it's going to push down on that spring, and then you can pop the ignition out. Let me see if I can do this with it on my leg. There we go. So it's popped out. Just pull it out. There's that spring clip right there. You can see the switch. You can see inside here. So this is what we did on the 69 Beetle. Pop that out, and then of course just popped it right back in. One of the things I mentioned is you've got grooves here. Everything has to go in a certain way, and then it'll snap right back in. See, pushes in. There we go. And we're good to go. Now, if you need to change the electrical portion, which is something we didn't do in the process, you've got to pull this completely out. So you've got to pull this. Your wiring's gonna have to be disconnected. And what I would recommend is pull all this tape out too, because you're gonna have to pull this out. But you're gonna have to pull this out of the car, because the electrical tape, it won't let me go past a certain point. There we go. So this is the electrical portion back here. Now it looks like the cylinder itself is crimped over, and there's also a little screw in here that's gonna have to come out to release this. So you'll have to pull this out. And if you're replacing the switch, you could just cut the wiring and it'll make it easier for you. Of course, battery needs to be disconnected if you're doing that. You don't want any fires for sure, burning up wiring, burning up your car. So yeah, you would be pulling that out, and then you're gonna have to uncrimp this take that screw out, pull the switch out, put it back in, run the wires through, slide this back in and pull it in with the wiring like this, lock it back into place, make sure everything's connected, then you'll be good to go. So I hope that helped, and yeah, it was fun sharing this with you guys today. Thanks so much for tuning in to Dub World. I really appreciate it.